I told you recently about His Majesty the King, King Charles III, and I thought what sterling work he was doing by having the warm spaces for the elderly, particularly in the winter months. I think it's very nice. It is a very sweet, kind gesture. And as ever, a lot of people are very negative about certain stories, but I like to share the positive stories as well, simply because, that is vital. We have to show both sides of the story on the channel. That's the whole point of it. But here's another story that you may not be aware of that's happening, very slowly, I might point out, but behind the scenes is at least happening. Let me explain. Good to see you today. Are you all right? I'm not so bad, thank you. Yes, I've just found a moment where it's not raining, but you can just see how much rain it's been, can't you? Because all the trees are really green suddenly. Had a spurt of life. I wish I had, Well, I've had the vitamin tablet, yes. I've had the iron. Yeah, what else? I've had the peanut butter. I mean, yeah, you try everything, don't you? All the protein stuff, you think, just try and get yourself feeling 100% better. Of course, you always look at yourself, don't you, and think, oh, we haven't done a wave. Sorry, a lovely wave. Nice to see you. Thank you so much, as ever, for joining me today. It's not always about you, is it? It's about, the other people. You have to look around and think, one of the big things that I do support is the veterans, the army veterans, any of the services that, sadly have fallen on hard times through no fault of their own, and that's the thing you have to remember. I always take time out to speak to them, have a cup of tea with them, whatever, because they've given so much for us. Now, as you know, Prince William has done a lot behind the scenes for homelessness and trying his very best, in my opinion, to raise it, highlight it, that sort of stuff. Now, as you can see, Slippery Khan, the Mayor of London, is desperately trying to weasel in on that project with William, and thankfully, so far, he's been kept at arm's length. But here's where it gets really interesting because, as I said, this is a charity that William undertook, all thanks, of course, to his late mother, the beautiful Diana, Princess of Wales. And the thing about that is, I think it really had a big impact on him when he was younger because they famously went to visit homeless charities, slept out, did all of that sort of stuff. Now, according to a source, what he and the King are working on are trying to find spaces, particularly in the winter, where they can bed down certain individuals, for a period of time, or indeed just to have social events, that sort of stuff, very similar to the winter warmer space idea. And this will be in royal palaces, whether that be Windsor, Highgrove, or indeed where William's home is. The problem that you have, it's the security thing. Highgrove works very well because it's more central. Once you have to go through security, it's hard for the individuals to come and go because obviously there are numerous checks, and I'm not sort of saying, oh, this is a stumbling block, but this is what I've been told. But what I would say there is, when this does come out and the bigger picture starts to evolve, let's try and support that because, truly the veterans, whether it's the Royal Navy, the Air Force, the British Army, all of that sort of stuff, they gave a lot and continue to give a lot for us to protect us, whichever way you look at it. And as William has pointed out, everybody can face homelessness at the flick of a card, to be honest, because as he rightly said, you can have a job, you can have an income, and if you miss 2 months behind, then suddenly everything escalates, you get in debt with a mortgage, suddenly things can unravel, the marriage, friends move, all of that sort of stuff. Isn't it nice that he's got a grip on this? And isn't it nice that behind the scenes, as I say, without the big fanfare and all that sort of stuff, they're just quietly working away to try and find the better solution to help some of the veterans who have maybe lost their way, that just simply need an open and welcoming door. We try our best, but it's bigger people like this that can truly change the force, the way that life moves. Anybody else agree? Neil Sean, Kensington, London.